Inspiring facts about Steve Jobs. 1. Steve Jobs was adopted. On February 24, 1955, Abdul Fattah Jandali and Joanne Squiable welcomed a son, Steve Jobs. Squiable and Jandali were not married when Squiable became pregnant. Jandali hailed from a Muslim family and Squiable from a Catholic one. Squiable fled to California to give birth when they were both at the University of Wisconsin at the time. Squiable decided she shouldn't keep the child, so she gave Jobs up for adoption. They did have a daughter, though, who they retained after a while. 2. Jobs almost became a Buddhist monk. Jobs went to India in 1974 to reside at the Neem Karoli ashram in search of enlightenment. Sadly, he changed his trip after finding out Neem Karoli had passed away the year before when he arrived. Instead, he traveled to Haidakhan Babaji's ashram, where he stayed for 7 months before leaving for the U.S. Zen Buddhism, which Jobs started to practice, significantly influenced his life. He had thought of joining the monks at Japan's Eihei-ji. 3. Steve Jobs was a college dropout. Jobs didn't finish college, like many other successful business people. Jobs enrolled at Reed College in 1972 but left after just one semester. He told his parents that he didn't want to squander their money on a pointless degree. Jobs' birth mother Squiable had been promised by his adoptive parents that they would pay for his education. 4. In 1976, Steve Jobs established Apple Incorporated. In March 1976, Jobs and Steve Wozniak built the first Apple computer. The Apple I was created by Wozniak and Jobs, and he chose to market it to the general public. By April 1, 1976, the two had founded Apple Computer Company, today known as Apple Incorporated, in partnership with Ronald Wayne. At Jobs' parents' residence on Crist Drive, the company was officially registered. Their workplace, which eventually moved to the garage, was in Jobs' bedroom. Jobs' time living on the Oregon commune All-One farm is where the name Apple originated. After spending a lot of time in the apple orchard, Jobs decided the business should have the name of the fruit. 5. Jobs gave his daughter's name to an Apple computer. Only 3 of Steve's 4 kids were raised by his wife Lauren Powell. His first child was born to him and Chris Brennan, a Homestead High School girlfriend. Jobs denied responsibility for the pregnancy when Brennan learned she was pregnant, which led Brennan to break off her connection with Jobs. On May 17, 1978, Lisa Nicole Brennan-Jobs was born. Jobs visited Brennan 3 days after Lisa's birth but was not present for her delivery. They gave their daughter the name Lisa together. The computer Jobs was working on was subsequently given the name Apple Lisa. Then he publicly denied that he gave the system his daughter's name and that Local Integrated Systems Architecture was the initials of the acronym. He has acknowledged in more recent years that the initiative was named in honor of his daughter. 6. He married one of his students. In 1989, while delivering a lecture at Stanford Graduate School of Business, Jobs first met his future wife. Jobs' front row seat during the presentation was occupied by Lauren Powell, and he couldn't take his eyes off of her. Jobs approached Powell in the parking lot after the talk and extended an invitation to supper. Powell accepted Jobs' marriage proposal in 1990, and on March 18, 1991, they were married at the Ahwahnee Hotel in Yosemite National Park.